Yo, what's up guys, Dragonball here and welcome to my end of February top Dragonball Legends top 10 tier list here. With the new Piccolo being here included. As always, I don't own every single character here on this list, and I don't own every single character here at 14 stars, maybe some kind of 7 to 10 stars range, some units maybe at 5, and so or sometimes I don't even own the unit, which means I can only judge them based on fighting in PvP. So you maybe have a different experience with the characters I'm gonna mention here, and yeah, let me know in the comments then with you what you think about them at the end. But we start here with the number 10 going down to number 1. We're gonna start here with the number 10. I have Gogeta. I think you could maybe argue Orange Piccolo even here at number 10 here. I decided not to put Orange Piccolo here on the list. Gogeta, I would say he is right now the best green in the game. Not that he's a very good green, but I think he's the best, having the potential work with Vegito as well as having endurance null on entry and the potential, you know, green card to go type neutral into comboing, for example, Vegito or other endurance characters and kill them. So this is a valuable thing. However, Vegito exists, so Vegito can destroy this guy. Kid Buu can lock in kill this guy even before fusion if you're unlucky. And this is why he's not really high. 10 is the highest I think I'm gonna go with him. He has too many weaknesses, he's not good defensively at this point. Even if you can run in on a full fusion team, it's just not enough. But he has some value, which is why I'm putting it number 10, and I, compared to some other units, see him more often in PvP. Like, people run him way more often. And I think he is just one of the better characters to actually run more often, in my opinion. So this is why I'm putting a 10 here. Again, could be changed with Orange Piccolo because I didn't want to do a shared spot here this time, but I can talk about Orange Piccolo quickly because you could put it at 10 in my opinion. If you're not fighting Vegito, he's actually pretty solid. Vegito's like his biggest issue, but if you're running him, you have it's a good protection against the new Piccolo. He's a disrupt, good damage. Cover condition is a bit bad, but he's providing enough stuff on regen. Like he's a usable unit on regen. Even if you're fighting Vegito, you can use him or make use of him. But I think Gogeta is slightly better because he has the type brutality, a bit more consistent, as well as some way of killing Vegito, while Orange Piccolo does not. As well as regen at this point has like a lot of slash powerful opponent has a lot of options, I would say. So Orange Piccolo is like a go-to unit there. But okay, moving at number 9, I actually have Android 13. I have used this guy last season a lot in Proud and a lot also on my team with Wuhan and Kid Buu. The support that he provides, the extra green cards for the team, as well as the healing, is just really nice for the powerful opponent team. That you can just simply add him on. He doesn't bring you any significant weakness because there are a lot of green units. Now obviously the defenses are not the greatest, which is why he's only number 9. And also don't think he's like a necessary unit, but he is working well with the best characters in the game, or some of the best characters in the game, and provides some additional value. Like if you have Wuhan and Kid Buu who do a lot of damage anyway, having him providing extra damage or even keeping them even with higher HP, and also I think increasing their rush damage with his main, is some good value. And the one-time disrupt can be useful if you're sometimes in a weird situation. And he's a blue unit, so if you're fighting Wuhan and you, for example, use your Wuhan to pop his gauge, activate the buff removal, you can throw Android 13 and it's type disadvantage, so he tanks it a bit better. So yeah, Android 13 has some use here, I would say. He's not a necessary unit, but he's a solid unit. I think you can put him here at number 9. Okay, moving down to number 8 and 7, because I want to talk about both these units, and these are Namek Goku and Ultra UI Goku. So here's the thing, I see Namek Goku far more often than UI. It's not even close, and it makes sense because I would say Namek Goku, in terms of the team with Vegeta and Gohan, is just a better team in terms of strike and blast based synergy. But Namek Goku is at this point so frail. Like, every time I see this guy, and I'm using Region, like, most of the time because I think Region is the best team in the game. Kid Buu just nukes this guy. Like, the amount of times I just drop comboed once, used one strike, one blue card, and killed, popped off his KO guard, or even killed him afterwards, is just to the point where I can't see this guy that much higher. I think a lot of people are running this trio. This trio here. Which I think if you're facing other Vegetos, because I think Vegetos run the most actually still. But at least when I fighting PvP, the most of the time I see teams with Vegeto. I rarely see, not rarely see it, but I see way less Region. But I think Region is far better. But I see this team therefore the most. And on that team, you could argue, okay, Namek Goku has the lock-in, has the buff removal blue card. I think his type neutral is uncancelable, but if it's gone and you lock him in and you hit him with a blue card, like, he has a lot of value against Vegeto. But if you're fighting Region, bro, he is just also providing some value, but he could get killed very easy. Like, this trio is so Kid Buu frail, it's insane. So I can't put him that high, and Ultra UI, why I am putting it over him, because I think the overall value he has against the best characters in the game is far better. He's hindering Kid Buu if he pops his green for comboing further. He can pop Buhan's gauge without getting hit. So, and one of the Buhan's strongest assets is basically the unique gauge. Like, once he doesn't have his counter gauges, he's a lot easier to kill and a lot easier to deal with, by a lot. So, and he's yellow. He has a lock-in against Vegeto. Especially if you, like, Vegeto's like half HP and this guy comes in with the lock-in and you have the main ability, consider Vegeto dead. You pop in blast card, you're popping your main, spamming blast, he's locked in, you have endurance null on the main and not on the ultimate, so you can kill off Vegeto very quickly. And he's gone. So that's insane value, but I think he doesn't have an optimal team, which is why you don't see him that often. Like, I faced this guy maybe 2 to 3 times last season. Against Region, he can provide some value against Buhan. But yeah, it's more so a team issue. I think Ultra is a bigger team issue, but it's the far better unit. He's not as frail as Namek Goku, so I'm putting him over him. But I can't put these guys any higher, despite having some good value, because teams and, in my opinion, I think this guy is a bit overrated right now. I've seen some people putting him even at potentially number 5, where I'm just like, I get KO guard, but bro, he's not that crazy anymore. Like, we're clowning about Vegeta getting comboed and killed by Kid Buu because he's so frail. This guy has less damage guard than him, I think, and is older and type neutral. What do you think Kid Buu does to this guy? Like, sorry, I can't put him higher than this. I don't think the team is that crazy with the Vegeto. This is not that good of a team. It's I would say, nice and useful team, but it's not that crazy. So yeah, keeping these guys at number 8 and 7. Moving on to the number 6, I still have Gotenks here. I think last time I did number 5. Gotenks, I still think he's a good 1% sparking. His blue card feint can be very helpful. He obviously goes down because we got a new blue character. And that's really it. I still think, again, if you're fighting Regen, and let's just say this Piccolo is not around right now and you're just going for a blue card, these two guys can get hurt by it quite a bit. This guy without type neutral could potentially die, this guy could just get one shot, so a lot of value there. You're working with Vegito, so you're working with one of the best characters in the game. Also with Gohan. So yeah, I see the value there. I don't understand why there are some people who didn't consider this guy top 10, which is like I faced this guy today, and he just because I'm running this trio here. He just blue carded and fainted my Android 14 twice and almost killed him. And if I didn't have like the sub count reduction of these two units, because I switched out of Android 14 as soon as he comboed me and he rushed me, and I could switch back to Android 13 because sub count reduction. If I didn't have that, I would have been in a lot of trouble there. So yeah, I think Gotenks is still valuable. Again, the feint can win you potential games. Also, Endurance Known Entry can be useful against Endurance units like Kid Buu or even Vegito. So yeah, I still see the value in him. I still see him a lot. He's type root offensively on transformation, so he's not like a Gohan victim instantly or Piccolo victim here. So yeah, this is where I'm gonna keep him. Moving down to number 5, I have Piccolo here. Now I will say I didn't face a lot of Piccolos, so this could be maybe a wrong judgment. I get that he's on the region team, okay. My thing with him is why he is on a region team, which puts him one of the best teams, if not the best team in the game. I think he gets held back to the fact that he is a ranged character. As you guys can see here, he has a higher blast stat. Now, it doesn't mean he's bad because of this. No, it's the reason he's top 5 here. Maybe you could potentially put him a bit higher. There are not a lot of green characters, so that helps him as well. But I just think that while he does have good offensive abilities, like the offensive abilities are great, I just think he doesn't have his full potential here to use because he's a range character. If he was a strike character, I would probably put him a bit higher, like easily top 3 I would say. Because again, he has a constant way of getting Cavano. When it comes to combos, he's probably the character with the most Cavano right now in the game. He has Indestructible, so Sacred Life mechanic that you can't cancel. He's on the best team in the game with regen. Supporting Kid Buu and Buuhan, although I would say he is a mix of hurting and helping Buuhan, but I think he's fine. He just isn't using this. He isn't up to his full potential yet. Once he gets a proper team that really uses him to the max, because Regen right now can't, since he's more of a strike-based team. I think he will get even more value. But from what I've seen so far, he seems pretty good. But I think when it comes to other units, he doesn't have like this 1v3 potential because he doesn't have any vanish regaining. I think the fact that he also doesn't have, at least I didn't see anywhere, the ability to gain buff removal is also a thing that is very important. Because this means if he pops Buuhan's gauges, you can't just be like, okay, I'm eating a type advantage, it's gonna be type neutral. Same goes to the ultimate. But yeah, again, offensively, he seems pretty fine to me. Defensively, I think he's okay. Although he has some units that could just ignore his disrupt, which is a bit. Not his indestructible disrupt, but his general disrupt of card increase. Like Vegito, once he has his full unique gauge, is immune to cost increase, which just simply ignores then every cost increase he's gonna put him. And that's just like his basic disrupt. His main disrupt is the subcount increase for the enemy, and then the arts cost increase. And if you're immune to arts cost increases, his disrupt is kinda not there. He doesn't have the craziest defenses as well. As far as I remembered, his defenses are very similar to Vegito, and Vegito is also not that kind of a tanky character. So, go figure. But yeah, anyway. Moving on from Piccolo, again, he seems fine to me. Number 4, I have Vegito this time on here. Yeah, no, last time I was debating about putting in number 1 or number 2. At this point, I would say number 4 is the better spot here in this case. For one, I think he doesn't have like the most optimal team, like the perfect team for him. There are good teams for him, but I don't think he has a perfect team for him. Secondly, Kid Buu is just a menace to this guy. Even if he's ignoring the green cards, if he gets comboed or like blue carded without his type neutral, which is not hard to do, you just combo over other character and then switch to Kid Buu, and if you have blue card, just pop it. This guy is on a deathbed, close to losing his endurance. And what I do most of the time is I pop the blue, they lose their complete their hand is gone, and then sometimes they will probably think, okay, I'm gonna tackle immediately, because why wouldn't I? So they either sidestep or go for a tap attack, but then I wait a second and then go for the quick attack, which leads into them tap shotting and getting hit, or sidestepping and getting hit, and then they lose their endurance. And the second time I get him with a blue card and he's not type neutral defensively, he's probably dead. So yeah, I think Kid Buu is too big of an issue, an obstacle to this guy, to be considered much higher. He's not the greatest defensively, he has still the highest damage in the game. He has the potential to 1v3 teams, that's still possible. His blue card is also hitting hard, but they're not most optimal team, and just insane up to him is, in my opinion, hindering him a bit. So with G. number 4, he's still a good character, doesn't mean he's bad, okay? I don't think, like, my opinion has changed a bit about him, but not that crazy extent. Moving to number 3 and 2, no, just number 3, where I don't know if this is the right decision. Buhan is number 3 for me. I was debating to put in number 2, as you guys can't tell, because what I've just tried to say, and well, accidentally said right there, but the reason I'm keeping it at number 3 is because the threat of getting killed easily is still existing for Buhan sometimes. We got a new blue character with Piccolo, which bumps regen up, but also hurts Buhan because he's a blue character a bit. And yeah, if he's also doing extra damage more against red characters, so the blue card on a sidestep or something like that could hurt Buhan quite a bit. So I think it holds him back a little, but the best team in the game being regen makes this guy really, really good. And I've used this guy now. I pulled him later on, used some CC still, managed to pull him. I used him in Proud, I used him in PvP normal mode. At 5 stars, he is pretty damn good, and his disrupt is pretty, sometimes basically deciding you games. My recommendation is actually not to just simply overuse his disrupt. Save it for, like, maybe at the start of the battle, maybe use one, save the second one so he gets more build up. As well, if you manage to kill a lot of, or damage a lot of other units, and you're basically in a situation where you can throw this guy in and guaranteed kill a character or pop an endurance or revive or whatever, that's when I would gonna use this disrupt. And the third one, if you're pressing the main, you got your ultimate in your hand, and then you get popped. Type neutral blue ultimate could potentially kill a character. He seems pretty good, man. Again, defensively, issues. He can also get rushed if you're not paying attention, or get hit by an ultimate, but he is pretty damn good. I've, again, was debating about number 2. I decided not to, could be wrong, but yeah, we're moving on to number 2. I have Gohan. Now, he is off boost, so he has definitely a bit weaker defenses, which matters a bit, which is the main reason I cannot put him at number 1 at this point, because he's off boost, so the defenses are weaker. The offenses, technically speaking, are also weaker, but the thing is, with him stacking damage with every card he uses, it doesn't really make a big of a difference. Like, his offense being now off boost is like he's one strike attack or blast attack less hurting, because that's one damage stacking that he gets. So it doesn't really change his offenses. Could be that some units potentially lift his attacks because he needs one more strike than usual, but the damage is still there. The AoE greens are still there. The vanish regaining is still there. The fact that we don't have any green characters is still there. And the fact that people can still run this guy with Kid Buu, Buhan, and him on leader slot is also still a thing. So he has a team, he has teams, he's a very flexible character, does insane damage still. His tanking is a bit worse, which is, again, not the reason why he's not top 1 anymore. Or potentially top 1 in my opinion. Because the next character, who is obviously, it's obvious who it is just, I think, Mod Saver. Does he have the most optimal team for him right now? No, which is also a reason why it's just number 2. Maybe number 3. I still think I have more issues with Gohan to deal with sometimes than with Vegito, if you ask me personally. And so yeah, that is that. He doesn't have like this one definitive character that is a counter to him, I would say. Like, he gets hurt by Vegito, obviously. He gets hurt by Kid Buu, obviously. Or even Piccolo, because they all do good damage. No question about that. But there's not this character that just... I'm walling Gohan and I'm just destroying Gohan. We don't have this kind of green character in the meta. So I'm keeping it number 2. Could be number 3. I wouldn't put him lower than 4 because I think Vegito... I think Vegito gets more hurt than Gohan does in this sense, so yeah. And he's a bit less versatile. Well, yeah. Moving to number 1, Kid Buu. It's, at this point, not even up to debate in my opinion that he's the best character in the game. He's on the best team. Gohan got just now worse, and he got another blue character to protect him for the potential reds. And if you don't have a red, I don't know how you're gonna stop this guy offensively. I've played this season already a lot with Regen. I'm already like rank 60. The amount of Gohans I have just 1 or 2 strike into a blue card and pop their revival or maybe even straight up kill them is ridiculous. The same goes for Vegito, the same goes for sometimes even this guy at this point, because he's not like the craziest defensive unit. Which is also the thing is, he is completely immune to Piccolo's Disrupt. You can combo this guy and don't care for nothing. So this is basically a sense of, if this guy gets hit by Kid Buu, either you have Buhan ready or you get hurt. Because the Disrupt, oh yo, cost increase, I don't care. I'm just gonna keep using my cards. Is this cost increase? Yeah, this is also one enemy, so Kid Buu at the first 60 timer counts literally doesn't bother. And Namek Goku gets obliterated. I see this guy getting obliterated before he even can pop his main ability. This guy gets killed before he even gets his fusion off. Yeah, Kid Buu's nuts. He has not only the offensive capabilities that, like for example, these other units have, slightly less than Vegito, but and I would say similar to Gohan, slightly less than Vegito. But he also has the defense capabilities to just survive. Like, and also type neutral defense with full unique gauge makes him a good character to tank Buhan's unique gauges. Me personally, when I use these 3 together, I'm popping the gauge with Buhan, for example, or him, and just let him eat the damage and use this guy only if I really need to eat hits. And he's just tanking this just fine. And then he just heals everything off because he's healing with every card he's drawing and stuff. It's just ridiculous. Like, you cannot stop this character right now if you don't have Buhan, or like Gotenks is also a good choice. Like, this is why I'm putting Gotenks even that high as well. He's like one of the very few characters that can just eat hits from Kid Buu. You're not killing Gotenks with Kid Buu that easily. He needs other characters to do that, but he's just so good right now against everybody else that I cannot put in. It's impossible not to put this guy at number 1. I don't think this is a shared thing like last time. I think this is Kid Buu. Obvious, case closed, no debate. in my opinion. I don't think there's any, yeah, discussion about this. So yeah, this is my number 1 unit. Moving on to the units here, we talked about Piccolo, talked about this guy already. These two guys, at this point I don't see them anywhere. Vegeta is far too frail at this point. Goku without a GT team is just a lost cause right now. He needs a better GT team. He could be, like, individually he's obviously the best green, but without a good team, and outside of GT being also a very easy Kid Buu threat to be killed. Just not seeing it. This Vegeta is run nowhere and anywhere. He has values against endurance characters with his rush, but again, I don't like as he's just not good enough individually speaking, because no card draw speed, not a lot of key on entry, no specific card on entry once you lose all your blue card on entries. I don't think it's great. Doesn't make the list for me in my opinion. These guys, honestly, I don't see them anywhere. Gohan. Actually, at this point, I'm moving you guys down. I don't see you guys anywhere. You're not that great. These guys, I don't see you guys. I don't think they're that great. I don't understand why they use all their damage on tech switch. It makes no sense to me. Like, these characters, if they had this constant damage they're keeping forever, and not just every time that they lose their attack switch and they're losing all their damage that they're stacking up, I would even probably think about keeping these guys here. But also no team, very bad defensively. Kid Buu victim to the max, dropping off the list here. Super Buu, didn't talk about this guy because I didn't have his Zenkai, or his Zenkai wasn't there before I made my last list. He's okay at best. I mean, you can run it on regen. He's a more blast character, so you could run him better with Piccolo, but Kid Buu victim. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't see this guy anywhere. I fought this guy maybe twice. In the times I fought him, he got new Kid Buu. So, but because he's new on the list, I'm gonna keep in here. Evo Kaioken. I said this already the moment they gave this guy, announced them giving a unique equipment. First of all, I don't understand why they even got a unique equipment, because what's the team for them? You're not gonna tell me this is the team you expect these guys to be run. I'm sorry. But what? Come on. Not the best team ever. I'm sorry, it's just not that great, and they are not that great. Obviously, once they get going, they can do a lot of combos, but these guys, personally, they should have gotten a Zenkai. And the main reason why I'm saying this is, and we can quickly look at this, I think what they gave them, generally speaking, on their equipment isn't bad, but they needed more. They have key issues. I'm talking about they have key issues on tech switch. They don't draw a card as a tag character. They don't draw a card on tech switch. They don't get a lot of key on entry, maybe on tag switch a bit, but not on entry. Their cover no condition takes a lot to get there. They don't force draw a green or anything to provide themselves cover no at the start of the battle. They have not really much going for them at the start, and even later on, Kid Buu, go figure. So yeah, they don't make the list for me here. Again, I said this from the beginning, they were down. It was so obvious that they're not gonna be good, because they're a long combo character, they wanted to nerf long combos, and they did nerf long combos. So they are just simply doomed. Since the new game philosophy, I knew they were doomed from getting a Zenkai or a Plat. It's not gonna go well. They're more of this, you spam a lot of cards fast character now, basically, but it's just not enough. And then Janemba, being a future boost, I think he deserves to be here at least, but I said this a lot of times already, he is hard replace the Kid Buu. You can run him if you don't have Kid Buu, but there's just no reason to run him if you have Kid Buu. It's just what it is. So yeah, this is my top 10. Let me know what you guys think about this list here. I think when it comes to these 4 guys, maybe the order is potentially not the right order, potentially, but Mainly because of this guy, because I didn't fight him that much and I don't have him. That's a very big factor. But his banner is not good enough. He is not that necessary enough, in my opinion, to be summoned on for me right now, so I'd rather save. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think about this list and see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day, guys.